So yeah, I'm 8 weeks in, 16 pounds down. Still got the chubby cheeks though. Still a fair amount of body fat to come off. So started at 192 pounds, down now to 176 as of this morning. So yeah, 16 pounds down. Everything so far is really easy. This video I'm just gonna kind of talk to you about the plan, how I'm doing it. Quickly, before I go into this video, giving advice on how to go about dieting phases, if that's what you came to look for in this video, I will cover all that. But right now I'm just gonna go over a few things quickly, very quickly, for people that care about what I'm actually doing. So yeah, I've been dieting now for 8 weeks, and the plan is just to get really lean, like the leanest I've ever been. So I've been pretty lean before. Obviously, if you do follow me, you'd have seen that. And this year I just wanna push it even further. The reason being that I know I've got a lot more muscle than I did have before, and I feel like if I peel the body fat off, I'm gonna look a bit different, or at least I hope so. So yeah, that's the plan. I've got a photo shoot planned with my friend, so hopefully get some good photos, just document that. And obviously in the kind of fitness industry, if you kind of look good, you're probably gonna do a little bit better than if you don't.
So that's the plan. Man is going to get lean AF, yeah? Hot girl summer, let's go. Anyway, this next bit of the video, I'm just going to give a little bit of advice for people that might need it when they're dieting. If you don't need advice, don't watch. If you do want advice, then probably watch. It's up to you, mate. It's up to you. Sound.
So there's a difference between weight loss and fat loss. Weight loss is just getting the weight off and not really worrying too much about body composition, whereas fat loss is about keeping your muscle mass that you've built, you know, in your gaining phase or your maintenance phase, whatever you've been doing. You go for fat loss, you need to prioritize retaining your gym performance. If you finish your dieting phase and your bench press has dropped by 30 kilos, you've lost muscle. That's not ideal. You need to focus on retaining your gym performance. That is the most important thing when going into a prep. So how do you retain gym performance? So I'll just go over, like, I'll list a few out which I think are extremely important variables that are so basic. So just ensure you're hydrated. That is so easy to do, just drink water. Next one, sleep 7 to 9 hours each night. Keep your protein high, so research suggests like 0.8 grams of protein or 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. That will help you retain lean body mass. Also, this is a big one, so prioritize having your carbohydrates around your workout window. So pre, obviously to aid performance, and post just to kind of kickstart the recovery phase. Another one to think about is managing your stress. Stress, that's one for me that I don't struggle with. I'm not a stressful person, I'm pretty chill, but in the nature of my job with PTing, I'll have my day set and I'll get a bombshell dropped on me, like, oh, I can't do this time now. And I'll have like 1 or 2 hours free in my day, and I'm like, what the hell do I do with this 1 or 2 hours now? Yeah, it's an overlooked variable, manage your stress, because that will affect your performance in the gym, and ultimately if your performance is affected, then you'll lose muscle mass. So yeah, try and, you know, manage your stress. If you've got an annoying girlfriend that makes your life hell, get rid of her. If you've got a mate that's just a nightmare, always causing drama, get rid of your mate. You know, shoot the shreds over your girlfriend and your mates. So another thing to think about with your gym performance is your rate of loss, so how much body weight you're going to lose per week. So to be quite blunt with this, the more body fat you have, you can be more aggressive with your dieting. You can lose more body weight per week. When you're leaner, you have to lose a little bit less, as you're at more risk of losing muscle mass. So me, for example, I obviously, after the initial 2-3 weeks where you lose obviously water, less food volume in the gut, glycogen stores depleting, obviously you're not going to be fully depleted, but you know what I'm saying. You'll get that initial drop of body weight, and then after that, when that levels off a little bit, I aimed for 1% of body weight per week. So when I was like 190 pounds, like just under 2 pounds per week. And as I get leaner, that will go to £1 pound per week. And then as I get really lean, it'll go down to £0.5 pound a week.
Okay, now that I've covered a few basic things about how to retain your gym performance, I'm now going to waffle on a little bit more at you whilst I accumulate some steps. And I'm just going to talk about things that someone must do if they want to be productive in the dieting phase, a few other maybe tips and tricks that other people might not be aware of. Maybe you are aware of them all, but hopefully it's useful to someone anyway. So yeah, sound.
A pretty obvious one to speak about is calories. So it's not rocket science, everyone should know this by now. Calories are just going to gradually have to come down for most people. You do get some people that can kind of
go into a deficit and almost eat the same calories for a whole prep, which is strange. Whereas people would kind of describe myself as like having like an adaptive metabolism, which obviously everyone's metabolism adapts, but as I get leaner, my calories have to linearly come down. Just don't take massive cuts in your calories if you feel like, oh, I've not lost as much body fat this week. Only like slight changes. So the next thing you can utilize when you're dieting is increasing your NEAT. So your NEAT is non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically burning calories without doing direct exercise. But the main one that people use through NEAT is just increasing your steps. So it's a great tool you can utilize when trying to create more of a deficit. And the other obvious tool we can use to help put us in a deficit is cardio. So yeah, pretty obvious stuff really. Probably not news to most people, at least I hope it's not. It's just another tool. Like, don't use all these tools all at once, just one at a time. I think it's a lot better to expend more energy personally than restrict your calories too much. Obviously your calories are going to have to come down a little bit, but if it's a choice for me out of dropping calories and expending more energy, I choose to expend more energy, just because I don't want to feel really shit and go into the gym feeling like a lack of energy because I've not ate enough food. And also you got the possibility of not having much of a nutrient dense diet because obviously you're restrictive of calories. Next thing I want to talk about is refeeds and diet breaks. These, from what I've seen with people, are implemented too soon. Like, you know, you don't need a refeed if you've been dieting for 6 weeks. Okay, they're for later down the line when we need to just psychologically have a break and just to help with performance a little bit. Obviously when you're dieting, your glycogen stores are lower, so it's going to affect your training performance. So just having a refeed, which is basically where you drop your fats, drop your protein a little bit, then increase your carbohydrates, that's a refeed. So the calories, the extra calories are coming from carbohydrates just to help with your training performance mainly. There is, I think, a little bit of research about leptin levels, things like that, but that's not the main reason why I'd be utilising refeeds. It's more for your performance. And diet breaks, I think, are for people, not just your typical average person going from 20% body fat to say 10 to 12. It's for people more, I'd say, higher body fat and they're dieting for a long period of time, like 5-6 months plus. Personally, that's what I think. You can have your own opinion on that. If you think, you know, a 12-week cut warrants a diet break, that's up to you. I just don't think it's necessary. Diet breaks as well is just to help you psychologically mainly, give you that break, take away a bit of fatigue, and then you can get back into the deficit when you're feeling a little bit more refreshed. The tool you have in your arsenal is pre-workout now. So prior to going into this deficit, I stopped taking pre-workout because I know later on when I'm dieting, it's a useful tool. When your food's high, the demand for a boost, in my opinion, isn't there.
Okay, another one might seem quite obvious, but hear me out. Food choices. Now, it's quite obvious you're not going to waste 3/4 of your calorie intake on like burgers and chips. But what I'm getting at is don't implement volume eating straight away. Save that later down the line and slowly bring it in. Your body's just going to get used to obviously that kind of volume of food. Like the high volume eating is for later down the line when you're getting really lean.
3 more quick fire tips for when you're dieting. So managing your volume. When you're dieting, obviously your capability to recover is obviously lower due to the lower food. So you don't want to be doing more volume. You actually want to bring your volume down because, like I say, your capability to recover will actually diminish over time. So yeah, manage your volume. Another one to think about is exercise selection. Whether you're in a gaining phase, maintenance, or a deficit, you've got to think about the progression model of your training program. Are your exercises suited for what you're doing right now? If you're getting weaker, you're losing muscle. So choose exercises that you neurologically can connect well with and you can retain strength with. And a last one, it's not really like great advice. Well, it is advice, but it's not like something I'd say to people, this is what you need to do, but it's just something that I do. When I'm in a dieting phase, obviously we stay hydrated, we drink a lot of fluids. I actually do like carbonated drinks, like a Diet Coke or something. So yeah, before the doctors come at me with your sweetener advice and your Spartane, this, that and the other, I'm just saying it's just a tool I use. You don't need to do it, I'm just telling you what I do.
Anyway, that's enough. I'm gonna be at work speaking about training and diets all day tomorrow. So that's enough of that. Yeah, I hope this video was useful. I hope it was interesting to someone. I hope it's gonna help at least someone. Please like this video. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe. That'd be sound. That'd be very sound actually, because one day we're gonna be at 1,000 subscribers and I'll be like, sound lads, sound for subscribing. Anyway, yeah, in a bit.